Okay, one thing or two things at a time? Two, yes. So the word binary means two, alright? And when we talk about a binary operation, we're talking about being able to work on any two terms at any given time, alright? So we work on two things at a time. Now, we were talking last term about some very unique looking operations. And when we were introduced to these very unique operations, we started off by talking about the general sense of operations. And we had something that looked a little like this. So tell me if you all remember seeing something like this last term. Yeah, I saw Shauna nod her head just now, and that was the beginning of the end, right? Last time was just so unusual for me. I was gonna like, what going on with my class? This is not them. But anyway, what happens with a lot of people is that when you have issues with directed numbers, you tend to have a lot of issues with algebra in general. And this was one of the things that arose from having to deal with binary operations, and not to mention the fact that it was on the heels of dealing with equations, right? Solving equations. Now, anybody could remember things relating to this statement? Anybody? Tell me anything you remember. Anything at all that you remember. Right, you have to substitute something with something. So I didn't put no numbers on thing as yet. Right? I didn't put no numbers on thing as yet. But it is important to remember that you have to do the process of substitution, which is good. So that's a good start. Now, let's say I gave you all to work out. So let's say I tell you, evaluate for me. So if I gave you all that now, would you be able to do anything with that? Ah, yes, you would be able to, alright? Yes. Because I gave you all this. What does this tell me? Anybody want to explain it to me? What does it say to me? Alright, so A is 3 and B is 4. So if we were to do the process of substitution, as Aziza was mentioning, we need to know what we substitute and where. So if we compare the statement that we have here, which is 3 star 4, to A star B, we will be able to identify that A is 3 and B is 4. And what do we do from there now? Anybody? If I ask you to evaluate 3 star 4, now that we identify 3 as A and B as 4, what do we do? Do we sit and watch it? I hope you're not hearing me like chewing on M&Ms, because I am. But yes. What do we do from here, people? So, Abida mentioned A is 3, B is 4. And Aziza told us, we're doing the process, I should say, the process of substitution. What should we substitute and where? So, I do the first part. What are we doing with this? Are they in touch this yet? What are they doing now? Beautiful. And what next? Lovely. So that's all I was trying to get you all to do. I don't know why you all... Here now. 1, I don't eat churn. Right? And 2, I would not be, how would I put it? completely annoyed if you make a mistake with your explanation. Remember, I always tell you all that. Even if you have difficulty explaining, once you make the attempt, and I kind of get where you're coming from, I'll kind of guide you down, right? So, remember something. You don't always have to be completely accurate with what you're saying. Once I get that you are on the right path, I will just kind of guide you towards what you need to really and truly be at. Okay? So, like I said, the pieces of the puzzle came together with identifying what A and B are, the process of substitution, and like we just did, we substituted. Now what are we doing from there? That's it. We need to solve, so we need to simplify the numerical statements, and what will we get? And what will we get as the answer? 5. There we go. So again, there were some things that were very simple, but for some reason, you all had, like, I don't know, whoa. It had to be my phone class, you know. Oh my goodness. Anyways, yes. Yeah, last term, I don't know what happened to you all once I brought negative numbers in. It's almost like you all forgot all the things that you did know. And you all knew how to do this quite well. Okay? So I want you all to remember something. Even if you can't remember how to do your directed numbers, which I hope by this term I'll fix. But last term, when we met the directed numbers and the binary operations, everything went south. So we're going to look at one with some directed numbers, and hopefully this time around you all will not, I repeat not, feel the same way you did last term. So let's take a look at one like this. Alright, so can you all work that out for me? What's the first thing you all want to do? You see what I talk about? As soon as I put a negative number there, everybody get quiet, but come on man, it's not that hard. What we just do? That's it. 2 so that's the first thing you need to do. X is 2 and Y is negative 5. Okay, what are we doing now? So I just heard 3 by 2. What's the next part? I hear 5 by 4 and 4 by 5, but I didn't hear the correct thing. Oh, waiting. That is it. That is it. Negative 5. Negative 4 by negative 5. Let's work it out. So 3 by 2 is what are they accustomed to. 3 by 2 is Now let's work out this piece. Let's say we decide to just treat this as a regular subtraction sign, right? So we just leave the subtraction there. What is 4 by minus 5? 20 is a multiply. Just now. I need to clear this up because this just happened with form ones. This means what? Multiply, add, subtract, divide. What does it mean? Multiply. We don't want anybody mixing it up and doing this. Never, never. Alright? This is a multiplication, so therefore you have to do 4 by minus 5, and that will give me negative 20. There you go. Negative 20. So I'll put that in brackets for a while because we have this subtraction sign here. Continue. What do I do from here to work this out? Good. And how do we work that out? Beautiful. You have to add them because remember when two negative signs come together like this, what do you do? Lovely. So you're going to get a 6 plus 20. And 6 plus 20 is 26. So you'll see how you don't even need to stress yourself if you see a negative number. You just need to go back into your memory and say, well, okay, it have a negative number, that's directed numbers. What are the rules for addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division, as the case may be? Alright? And for binary operations, this board looking like McDonald's right now. But anyway, bad thing to think about when it's lunchtime, you know. Anyways, so if ever you have binary operations involved, the first thing that I want you all to always remember to do, ask yourself, what is the rule? And when I say the rule is, what is the rule for your operator? So this thingy here is my rule for my operator. Okay? And the rule, remember last time I told you all, if you can't remember what is the processes that you have to be doing here, talk it out in words. This is telling me 3 times my first number x, subtract 4 times the second number y. Alright? So for people who, they look at this algebraic thing and they say, what gibberish is this? Talk to yourself in English. Remember, these are processes, arithmetic operations being performed here. Once you know what the rule is, identify your first and your second number. Whether the first and second number is A and B or X and Y as we label it here. Identify what is the value that you're going to substitute for X, what is the value you're going to substitute for Y, and substitute it like we did here. See, we did substitution, and then simplify it and you'll get your answer. So we'll do one more to make sure that everybody is perfectly fine with doing this part of your binary operations, alright? So let's try another one. Erase. Okay, so I don't want the board looking like McDonald's. Let's try this one. So again, don't be intimidated if you see something that looks a little difficult. Remind yourself that you have the knowledge to do it. So, give on. Right, so look at this one. Alright, you're going to see some powers on it. But, again, it's stuff that you know how to do. Alright, so determine the value of this for me. Alright, so can you all work that out for me? I'll give you all 2 minutes. You got an answer? Anybody got an answer? Let's hear it. Alright, so we got a 9. We got a 9. We'll take the answers that people give and we'll see how many people get certain responses and then we'll do the working for it, right? So we got a 9 so far. Let's see. So we have a 19 now. Alright. 9, 19. Close enough? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I heard another 9. Beautiful. So we're hearing some responses, which is good. Alright, so 9 and 19. Anybody still working? Raise your hand if you're still working. Alright, so these are still working. Ooh, we do have a few people still working. You'll go ahead, work it out. So I said I would give you all like 2 minutes, so yeah. Take like a minute again. So, let's see. Hands up for all the people who got 9. Let's see how many people got 9. If you got 9 and you know it, raise your hand. So we have 1 hand up so far. Alright, so we've seen a few hands going up. I have 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 hands so far. Alright. 9 going once, 9 going twice. Make that 8 hands. Alright, nice. Hands down, 9. So 9 for 9. 9 hands for 9. Alright, let's do the hands for 19, shall we? Hands up if you got 19. Like I was telling the phone ones this morning, loud and proud. Let's see y'all. So we have 2 hands so far for the 19. Alright, then, seeing as the pool isn't going so well today, we're going to work it out in a little bit. Alright? So, for those persons who did not raise their hand, and for those who are on the fence, you all can put your hands down. Let's start working it out. So, I'm sure many of us know what we need to do. What's the first thing we're going to do, y'all? Because A is 2 and B is 5, right? So now that we know A and B, we're going to do 2 star 5, which is 2 squared plus 5 squared minus 2. Now this is a product. So just 2 by 2 by 5. Alright? So let's pause for a second. For those of us who were writing or working, how many people have that line? You have 2 squared plus 5 squared minus 2 by 2 by 5. Alright, so I see some hands going up. Nice. Nice. So you see, this is what I'm trying to get at. Some people will know the process. Some people will know how to start their working, but then when it's time to actually work it out, something has happened to them. Alright? Hands down, lovely. So I saw 11 hands up so far for the working. Alright? Now, let's work on the values that we need to get. Now, if I squared 2, what would I get when I square 2? And then square in 5, what will we get? 25. Now, 2 by 2 by 5, because I'll just leave the subtraction sign here. So 2 by 2 by 5, what will we get? 20. Okay, now let's work it out. 4 plus 25 is, and 29 minus 20 is. Therefore, the answer is 9. So, for the people who got 9, excellent quick. Yes, I brought a bit of a tricky looking kind of statement. Yay. Yes, sir, yay. So, for those of us who got 9, excellent quick. For those who did not get 9, just double check your work and maybe make a little misstep somewhere. Maybe over here you did 2 by 5 only instead of 2 by 2 by 5. But either way, once you know where you made your mistake, correct it so you will know better for future reference. Alright, so it's binary operations. Alright, there were lots of things that we looked at with binary operations, but now let's talk about this wonderful thing called algebra. Alright, so